how's it going, guys? It's PK the World.
And so, right?
And we're here after about 3 years, almost?
Or so.
Yeah, about 3 years. We're back for a new episode of EXP'd Gaming, which, oddly enough, is really the only video on the channel that got any views at all, and comments. I know there's one on the first episode of my Fire Red LP.
Yeah.
But that was from our friend Hobbles. Just call him Hobbles for now. And even then, I think even a couple of the comments on EXP'd Gaming's first episode were from Hobbles as well.
Probably.
Like I'd have to check it again, but I think he like his account is specifically his name, which is I found to be really funny.
Yeah.
So, really quickly, I just want to get how EXP'd Gaming is going to work for the time being until we can get the camera, until we can get everything all squared away, all the technical equipment we need.
Yep.
So for right now, we're switching to a podcast type setting, just because it's a lot easier. It doesn't require a camera. Plus, any of the cameras we have, well, at least any of the cameras I have, my webcam, are crap.
It's just all around easier at this point.
Yeah.
It's just all around easier, and we have the equipment already.
Yeah, well, last night I just ordered a microphone, pop. I can never remember what it's called. Pop filter.
Mm.
So, however crappy this sounds now, it'll sound even better next week, and I think the pop filter comes in the week after the microphone does, if not the same week. So, just week for week, I think our audio will be getting a lot better, which is nice. I'm really excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands, the episode structure is going to switch around a little bit. We've got our intro, which we're working on right now. We'll be going into previews, a game of the week type of topic, which we'll probably, like, week per week, it'll either go to you for for the game of the week, or to me, or to the both of us, depending on what we've played.
Yeah, that would probably, yeah.
Okay. And then general discussion is, we can talk about the game that we previewed, we'll talk about the game of the week, just pretty much anything that we can kind of think of. Then obviously our outro will, since EXP'd Gaming is going to kind of be our hub show, I'm hoping that the outro will also kind of include stuff like going on the channel this week, anything in particular to keep your eye out for. Yeah, any new information that we get, any new pieces of equipment that we decide to show off and showcase.
Yeah, general news about the channel and us and such. So,
it'll be fun. So I think we should probably just move right in onto the preview, which is about Turtle Rock's new game. If you don't know who Turtle Rock is, they are the masterminds behind everybody's favorite zombie Valve game, Left 4 Dead. Now, just a bit of some backstory on Turtle Rock. They were originally contracted to work on Counter-Strike by Valve. They ended up getting Counter-Strike Source, I believe it was called. I'm looking through the article right now. Yeah, they ended up getting a hold of Counter-Strike Source. And with Counter-Strike Source, they ended up creating the basis that Left 4 Dead was based on. And they originally called it, or the working title was Terror Strike. And then couple of years later, they came out with Left 4 Dead, and then... Oh, wait. Oh, okay, no. 2008 was Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
They... If I am reading this correctly, Valve eventually turned Turtle Rock into Valve South, because they were based in California and not in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, due to some development issues, because of them being in California and Valve being up here in Washington, they had to separate. But Valve said, anybody that wants to leave and come work for us, specifically for the Left 4 Dead series, can. A lot of people left for Valve so that they can continue working on Left 4 Dead, and Turtle Rock went back to being Turtle Rock. After a few years of, Valve working on Left 4 Dead 2 internally with the old team, Turtle Rock went on to do DLCs for Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. But apparently, and this is just from what I heard on an interview, again, this is from Game Informer, and as far as I can tell, Game Informer is really anybody who's gotten the scoop on Evolve. But Evolve apparently has kind of been on the back burners, his back burner idea for Turtle Rock ever since way before Left 4 Dead, which is really neat to think that they've been thinking of this game since... I would estimate 2005, 2006.
Probably about then.
Yeah, so you figure this has just been an idea for 8 years, which is really kind of cool to think about, at least for me, because that means they've really narrowed down the kind of game that they really want.
Yeah, they've had it. They figured out what they wanted early on, and they've just been working on it.
Yeah. The initial idea was 4v1. Was 4 versus 1 gameplay. And eventually that, excuse the pun, evolved into the game that we see here now. So far, only 1 creature and 4 hunters, I believe they're called, have been totally explained by Turtle Rock. The first monster is called the Goliath, which is pretty much the monster you see everywhere, and it's really neat looking. Some of the pictures, I'm not totally sure what stage it's in. A lot of them seem to be in between stage 1 and 2 of its evolution. From what I understand, progressively the Goliath gets bigger, it gets meatier, and more armored, spikier, just gnarly. But there's more than just the Goliath. And the only reason that we know this is because Turtle Rock has explained that there's more creatures than just the Goliath, but we don't know how many yet. We know there's at least 2, because recently... Oh, kitty sneeze. But recently, Turtle Rock said you can pre-order Evolve now, and you'll get a special skin for the Goliath, and you'll get an extra monster. So far, there's only 2 that
has been confirmed.
Yeah, that have been confirmed. The whole backstory behind Evolve is the humans so far into the future, in an unspecified time, have begun planet hopping just to populate planets, kind of spread out from Earth. I would kind of state it, or I would kind of put it as a similar situation as Halo. Once the UNSC got enacted, so humans begin planet hopping, and thanks to the hunters, a lot of these developing human colonies are able to survive, either by, like I said, at least from what I can tell, by either passively removing animals from the immediate area or violently.
Passively.
Yeah, passively. Passively being with tranquilizer darts.
Slightly less lethal.
Yeah, slightly. One more dose over, and it would be, if I'm not mistaken, on most tranquilizers.
Yeah.
So, the group that you decide to play as, because there's multiple characters for the 4 different archetypes, which, as they said, they're based closely on character archetypes that we're used to, or they're completely different and they all have nice little twists to them.
Yeah.
So there's the 3 standard ones I think everybody knows are medic, assault, support.
Yeah.
So you've got your mage, your tank, and your rogue, essentially, in MMO terminology. And then there's the 4th class called the Trapper. The Trapper basically, well, he leaves traps around, little things to kind of, for you and your party, this spike went off here in this part of the map. Something over there means that the monster is off in that way.
Mm.
Now, again, some of this I'm kind of speculating on, because the articles and the interview that I've seen, they're not crystal clear.
They're being a bit hazy about the details.
Yeah. A lot of that I'm almost certain is from Turtle Rock in and of themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the bullet points in the article literally end with saying Turtle Rock didn't want to explain any more. Like, the mode that they're talking about is, I believe, just called Hunt. Yeah, it's called Hunt mode. And that's the basic 4v1. Now, there is going to be a single-player mode, but again, it's not really they don't really talk about it a whole lot.
It's just there.
Yeah, they just said that there is...
You don't need people.
Yeah.
But...
And depending on the mode you decide to choose, there is going to be very different gameplay. The characters are going to be drop in, drop out, if I'm not mistaken. And if you decide to play solo, there is going to be an AI for the beast, the monster, whatever it is, the Goliath, or this unknown monster that they haven't announced. And there will be AI to take over those other roles. Mm-hmm. Either 3 of the other characters, or 2, or 1, or, however many missing characters there are. And if I remember correctly, there's a thing in here that says you can jump between characters if you decide to.
Oh.
Like, if you're playing as medic, but like your support guy isn't picking up the slack he needs to because the AI's being an AI, you can jump over to your support guy, and then you can start doing all your support stuff, and then jump back over to your medic, or jump into the assault, or jump into the trapper.
Okay.
So...
intuitive.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think it's going to be really cool just in that of itself, is just being able to drop in, drop out of classes in single-player mode. Because I have a feeling that's really what they thought of the mechanic for, was for single-player mode.
Because you'd probably, in multiplayer, you'd probably have people just doing everything.
Yeah. Or you just have the AIs taking over, and, you and, if we decide to play it, you and me playing certain roles. I suck at medic.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm probably gonna end up sticking to like the trapper or the support.
I'd be assault or medic.
Yeah,
it's the only thing I can play.
So like it's really cool to see that they're already planning ahead for certain things. That's really nice to see, and they really hammer it home in all of the things I've seen in this article in Game Informer, and in the interview that they had the month after this issue came out. They really kept pushing the fact that everybody in the studio was playing this game day in and day out to really try and tweak and balance it.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of video game publisher or developers say that. because you always hear, oh yeah, we always play our game day in and day out. But it doesn't... Like, I can believe it because, you do have your playtesters coming in and day out to test the alpha or the beta or whatever you have so far set up.
Yep.
But, like, with these guys, since... Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, they're only up to 75 workers? So, I mean, when you say that a development company only has 75 workers, I would kind of lean more towards to believe that, yes, everybody in the office is playing that game day in and day out.
Yeah.
Because most companies employ hundreds of designers, artists, just a mixture of anything and everything you could think of that requires work on a video game. Music is usually an entire group.
Yeah, a team of people devoted to music.
I mean, some games get away with having just one guy heading it all, but you're usually talking about your Danny Elfmans of video game music.
Yep.
So, everything from what I understand is just forward planning and forward thinking. Because for what they really wanted to do with the game, have a constant hostile environment, hidden plants in the game that, first time playing, you're not going to know they're carnivorous plants that if you get close to, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Or, there's a creature called the sloth, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're called sloths. They're, in the audio interview, they're described as elephants. They're passive, and they won't hurt you if you don't get too close. But you get too close, and you're gonna get stompled.
Mm-hmm.
Stompled.
Word of the day.
You're gonna get stomped and trampled. That's what I was trying to...
Stumble.
There's trap jaws, which seem to be large, sort of canine kind of creatures. Spotters, which in the article describes them as kind of meerkats. So they kind of poke their heads up, and if there's anything dangerous coming around, they apparently they have, like, they're supposed to be like a bird type creature. Yeah. Or at least I kind of gathered it says the bladder on its neck expands and the creature emits a loud horn. So when I think of a bladder, I think of either frogs or a bird.
Yeah. So they're probably early warning for other creatures or something similar.
Yeah. And, well, they kind of go on to explain that the spotters, if you use them in tandem, like if you see a group of spotters and you're a trapper and you put this special kind of harpoon down, or not a harpoon, but it's your sort of beacon. If you put that down near a group of spotters, and if the spotters see the monster, the spotters will obviously alert the group that they're in, and that will activate your emitter.
Mm.
So, sorry, I'm doing weird pictures. That's great. You can kind of, or at least I can kind of tell that they really wanted to switch over from Left 4 Dead's hectic horror into a more
unsettling.
Yeah, unsettling action. I'm gonna have to get these pictures from you so that I can put them up so they know what I'm giggling at.
Did they close that?
You should. But I can't believe I haven't talked about this yet. The monster, like I kind of touched on earlier, can evolve.
Yeah.
Now, the monster evolves based on creatures it eats. Whether that is from the hunters that it kills, or the natural wildlife that it kills. Some of the wildlife being too big for the monster at stage 1.
Yeah.
If I'm not... It sounds like depending on the kind of creature and the size of it, it depends on how quickly it evolves. Now, from some of the pictures in here, in the article, and some of the pictures I've seen online, it seems like the monsters don't really have a set evolutionary pattern. Like, it looks like they kind of adapt, depending on the situation they're caught in, or the map that they're placed in, which is really neat to see a game that uses sudden evolutionary adaptation instead of the games like Spore that use a sort of slow evolutionary transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, some of the screenshots just make it look absolutely beautiful. There's so far the only map that's been confirmed is a sort of jungle type map. There's gonna be another game type that's more of an objective type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're the monster, one type of game that they described is you have to go kill, or you have to go destroy this like power plant, and then once you get to that power plant, you start destroying it. Your next objective is to start killing as many people as possible, like up to a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously as the hunters, your task is to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to get ahead of myself on that, because there's so much that there's a lot of information that they honestly shoved out. Like, for as much as they're concealing and as much as they're hiding, they really did just shove out tons and tons of information. So, Evolve is going to be a big game, which is the reason why they said it has to be for next gen.
Yeah. Because
the current gen consoles just don't have the computing power. They don't have the resources. Patrick Stewart, right?
Yes.
I thought that was Patrick Stewart. But yeah, Evolve, Turtle Beach Studios, they... Actually, originally, the publisher for Evolve was THQ.
Really?
Yeah, THQ was going to publish Evolve.
Before they went back.
Before they went under.
Yeah.
And when they went under, Turtle Beach had to go show off all their stuff again. But not as, oh, hey, come buy this so that we can start producing more of it, as more of, hey, bid on us, please, so that we don't lose this really cool project.
Yeah.
Originally, they were planning on using as much of their own funds as they could to buy themselves, just in case, so that if nobody bought them, they could just run back out and go, okay, hey, you want to check out Evolve? Do you want to look at it? But 2K Studios came around, and I can't remember what their parent company is. I know somebody will say so in the comments, or I'll leave it in the description. But their parent company came to them and said, go get Evolve. Go get it. And 2K spent $10.8 million in acquiring the rights, the IP rights to Evolve. Which, 2K, I mean, they do really good publishing anyway. They published the Borderlands, which you didn't enjoy. But I mean, when you think 2K, you think a plethora of games.
Yeah.
So even if Evolve is a miss on certain aspects, I think just for the multiplayer replayability, because of this team that's working behind it and how much they know they did right with Left 4 Dead. I really think that they will be able to pull it through.
Yeah.
At least in hunt mode and hopefully single player. But it sounds like hunt mode is their go-to, everybody's going to be playing it. Kind of like how for a while everybody was playing Mutation on Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
At least on the computer side of things. I don't really know about consoles. I don't know how many people played Mutation on console.
I know I did every now and then, but
yeah, like it seemed much more that Mutation was a bigger thing for the PC gamers than it was for the consoles. But yeah, Valve, hopeful. It should be coming. They said it should be coming out this year, 2014, in fall. So there's no set date yet, but hopefully it'll be out fall. So September, October, November,
ish,
somewhere in there.
Yeah.